I just spent 140,000 more yen on some Japanese Pokemon cards. Let's take a look at them. If you've been around, you guys know how these videos work at this point. But first, I'm going to show you guys the rejects, the duds, the cards that I won't be able to send for grading. And then I'm going to show you guys the massive stack of awesome cards that I got in that were the condition as described. And I'm very excited to send off to the respective grading companies. So let's take a look at the rejects first, and then we'll move in to the hits. So first off, we've got a nice 2-for-1. I got scammed, and they shipped it so poorly that it got damaged in shipping. So the card that they swapped out my Master Ball Gyarados for was a Pokeball Gyarados. So obviously there is a Master Ball variant. We're going to see quite a few of those later on in the video, but they swapped out the Master Ball variant with the Pokeball variant, and then they covered this card in saran wrap to ship it. So they didn't use a normal sleeve, and you can see what the saran wrap did to the card. I did try cleaning this card off. It is not possible. The saran wrap basically just baked into the card, and when I removed it, it added all of this damage to this reverse holo. So don't wrap your cards in saran wrap, please. There are penny sleeves that are literally penny sleeves for a reason. They are very cheap, and you should be able to find some over in Japan just like you can find them here in America. So please, God, buy some penny sleeves. Oh, and obviously don't scam people. That's, obviously. Okay, some more of the rejects that we can talk about. So unfortunately, a lot of these 151 cards you're going to see are rejects because of the top cuts. You can see, obviously, lots of whitening on the top cuts of a lot of these 151 cards. This has continued into the ARs, the Master Ball reverses, the regular holos. It's literally on every card in the set. And like I said during my live showing these cards off, it's really unfortunate because this is probably the most hype I've ever been for a set, and yet the quality is probably the worst that I've ever seen on a Japanese modern set. We have the War Total AR, we've got the Lapras Master Ball, a lot of these are just edge cuts, we've got the Ekans Master Ball. Now we're getting into a little vintage. So this is a little bit, I should have probably reshuffled this deck a little, but we're getting into a little bit of vintage. So this card is super clean, but unfortunately, it has a bit of a dent down here in the bottom left. Going to kind of be tough to see, but in the bottom left, there's a bit of a lip dent there. You can kind of see it there in the shadow. I've been looking for this Sceptile card specifically in 10 condition for over a year now, probably, and I just can't seem to get one. So I was so close with this one, but unfortunately, a bit of a dent, a bit of a curl. All right, this card, very unfortunate as well, but this card suffered from pretty bad top cut too, and I think there's actually a little bit of a ding, a little bit of a problem up here. But I did buy some more of these. You'll see them later in the video. All right, so I actually sold one of these recently, or a variation of this card. I don't remember if it's the exact one or not, but this same artwork, I sold PSA 10 for about 70 bucks, and I had a decent bit of profit, so I bought a bunch more of them with the profit that I did. A lot of times I will do that where I'll buy one card for like $5 if it tens. If I can sell it for $7.75, I'll take the profit and I'll rebuy a bunch of the same card and do the same thing. Kind of try and like scale it upward as long as that play exists. And sometimes the play disappears and you get caught holding some cards, but that's just how it is. But most of the time it tends to work because you're creating those data points for yourself. So if you're selling on eBay and you sell one for 70 bucks, there's now a comp that you sold for 70 bucks. So going forward, you might be able to say like, okay, even if this goes down, maybe it goes down to 60, 65, but I'm still going to make some money. So, and then we have some of these Emerald Break Mega Rayquaza EXs. You've obviously seen this artwork from Celebrations. They reprinted this one, but this has been printed like 4 or 5 times now. I think it was in Best of XY. It's also in the set that it came out in. I forget what it's called in Japanese. Yeah, this has been reprinted quite a bit, but I got some more of these. I bought a large lot of 50 of these Pikachu VMAXs for about $4 a piece. And a buddy of mine on Discord, he lives in Japan, and I think he said that the magazine that this comes out in was like 400 yen or something. So it's probably like $2.50, $3 retail for the magazine, and I got them for about $4. So not bad, not shabby. It's a Koro Koro magazine promo. It's a Pikachu, obviously, VMAX, and it's an Igawa artwork. So I just felt like $4 seemed like kind of a no-brainer to me. Pretty decent fundamentals on this one. There's probably a shit ton of them out there, which, again, it'll be like a supply versus demand thing like everything else is, but very cool card in my opinion. These had little dents on the back. They all had the exact same dent, so it might just be a problem with some of the way that it was distributed, but basically, it's going to be hard to show, but like right here, there is a dent. It's fairly faint, but it's on like 20 some of the ones that I got in. So just be careful out there if you're buying these. There's a possibility, probably from the way that they were distributed, that you can get a little dent on that top left corner on the back. So these are cards that I actually bought in lots. So I got a couple of lots that were really good prices for some of the hit cards that were in the lots, but I got these as just like extra. So I'll probably not grade them. I'll probably sell them in a binder or something at one of my upcoming conventions or up at the comic book store where I sell singles. But I got a lot of these EXs from a lot that I purchased. So we've got 4 Mew, we've got a Venusaur, a couple Blastoise. We got a good variety. I think like 3 Zapdos. I think I skipped one in there. We've got Kangaskhan, a Jinx. I mean, this is pretty much like one of each, I feel like. We've got Ninetales, Alakazam, and a couple of Golem EXs. So a bunch of EXs, and then we got a few art rares that I probably won't send for grading because they're some of the less popular Pokemon. We've got Ammonite, Machoke, and Caterpie. Fantastic artworks, but just not, you know, Pokemon that I feel like are going to be in super demand. Next stack are the Pokemon 151 cards that I purchased that are going to probably go for grading. They do have some fairly rough top cuts, but they're the less severe ones, so I feel like the grading companies might still give me a shot at a 10 on some of these. I probably will send some of these to CGC to try out their new, if they have a new grading scale, not sure. We're going to test that out. And then obviously see if we can get some of those pristine 10s with that new label. That would be super cool. So probably send some of these out to them to get graded there instead of waiting the 2 to 3 months that PSA is currently working on right now. Seems like they have slowed a little bit. I think 3 months, 2 months is like, okay, that's fine. Like that's quick. 3 months is like, oh, okay. But as long as that starts getting longer, the more that I think about sending more cards to CGC just because of how quick it is. And you know, as a person who flips cards, it's got to be quick. But there are cards that I will just automatically send a PSA no matter what they are. Mostly the mid-era and the vintage stuff. We've got a bunch of Master Ball reverses that I purchased. We've got a Giovanni. Some of these came in lots with other cards. So Machop, some of these less popular ones I didn't buy as singles. We got Magmar. We got Nidoking, came in one of the lots, which is cool. Dragonair I bought as a single. Kadabra came in a lot, but this is actually really cool because this is the first Kadabra card back after he was removed from the TCG. So, and we got a Master Ball reverse of it, which is pretty awesome. And it's in Arita artwork. So very cool, full circle. We've got Snorlax, Articuno. We got a Bulbasaur and an Ivysaur. We have a Squirtle and I think a couple Squirtles, yep, and a Wartortle. I didn't buy a Charmander, so we have a couple Charmeleons. Charmander was in like the $15 to $20 range basically the whole time, so I felt like that was just a little too expensive for that Pokemon. You're also not going to see like Gengar or Mewtwo or those ones that were like 30, 40, 50 bucks because I just feel like that's just too much. So none of the evolutions, stuff like that. If those cards ever dip below a certain amount, I'm still trying to calculate what that amount would be in my head, but if they dip below that, I'll start buying some. But for now, I'm definitely not going to spend like 30, 40 bucks on those cards. We got Charmeleon. We got Arcanine. So Arcanine and Gyarados were the two that I was really kind of looking at. So I bought multiples of each of these. And that's because these cards, you know, super popular Pokemon, Arcanine and Gyarados, and they dipped to like $7 at one point a piece. And I thought, you know what? I'll pick up like 3 to 5 of these for $7 a piece. It just kind of seemed doable. And now we got 2 Blastoise EXs. So one of these EXs is a little rougher than the other. Probably won't send them both for grading, but we did grab 2 of these in a lot. So this lot was actually really cool. This is the lot where I got all the EXs. I got 2 of these full art Blastoises, and I got some of the better ARs. And I got it all for 40 bucks. So I got this Ivysaur, that was in that lot. I got 2 of these Charmanders. Those were in the lot. I got 1 Pikachu, that was in that lot. And I think I got a Mewtwo in that lot as well. Mewtwo was another one that I picked up quite a few copies of. I think I have like 6 because this card dipped right around like 10-ish, like 8, 9, 10, around there. And so I was picking this card up when it was like 8 or 9 bucks. And I feel like now it's like in the 15-ish range. I could be wrong. Maybe it came down again. But yeah, I grabbed like 5 of these, and then one of the lots I was looking at, that $40 lot that I was talking about, also came with a Mewtwo. So that's pretty awesome. I'll send quite a few of those for grading. That would look really great with that black and gold label from CGC. Next, we have some Squirtles. We got 3 Squirtles. This was a lot that I purchased for around 40 bucks as well. I got 3 of the Squirtle ARs. I got 2 of the War Turtle ARs. And lastly, for the 151 singles, I got the Blastoise EX SIR. The thing that really sucks about this card is the cut, again, is very rough, but the artwork is amazing. I love this line, and the centering is impeccable. These are all of the Pikachu VMAXs. Like I said, about 50, so I got a ton of these. These are all mint, ready to be graded. I'll have to take a look at them just one more time. I took a look at the backs to make sure they weren't dented or anything, but some of the front, most of the cards have at least one print line, which is, you know, bound to be expected for like a mass-produced promo, I feel like. So sometimes they'll have a print line either up or down. And some of them have like surface issues on the front, but most of these are incredibly clean. So I'm hoping for a bunch of 10s on these. Basically, if I 10 of them, I will probably make my money back on the lot and a little bit of profit. So, and I probably have here like 35 ones that are gradable, so very excited about that opportunity. And then here are the Rayquazas that were actually somewhat gradable. They still have maybe a little piece of whitening here and there, but these ones were the best looking ones out of the lot that I purchased. These were kind of random. I just saw a lot of these 4 Snorlaxes. I think it was like 10 bucks a piece or something, so I picked them up. Snorlax V. Snorlax is a really popular Pokemon, and I've been doing pretty well with these rainbows as well. And for 10 bucks a piece, I thought, why not? I bought a big lot of these, like 12 or 13 of them at about 10 bucks a piece before too. And I've been doing very well selling through those. So I picked up a couple more, and I picked up some of these full arts, which are really cute in my opinion. And last of the ultra modern stuff before we get into the mid-era vintage, we have the other Mewtwo V-Star, and then we have 2 of the Charizard V-Stars. I've actually been buying a lot of the Charizard V-Stars. Hopefully that doesn't backfire. I don't think it should, because when you think about Crown Zenith, what do you think the hit cards are, you know? Like what comes top of your mind, the hit cards of Crown Zenith? To me, it's this card, it's the Gold Arceus, the Gold Darkrai, and this card. So I feel like this card is a standout in the set, and paired with this card is even better. Last but not least, it would not be a JavaAkuma I spent video without there being some mid-era holos. So we have an Ampharos from Shining Darkness. I love that card. Hey, look at that. It's our favorite card in the universe. This and the Ninetales from Heart Gold collection. Absolutely amazing. This has a little swirl up there. Very clean looking card. We've got a nice Swampert. A lot of these I bought from the same seller. I think all of them going forward, maybe I bought from the same seller, which a lot of times when you're looking and you see a card for a decent price and it's minty, you want to click on the seller profile to see if they have a bunch more. And that's what happened here. I saw, maybe it was the Swampert or the Blaziken or something. I saw, wow, that's a pretty minty card. That's a pretty decent price. Let me take a look and see. And there was like 6 or 7 other cards that I wanted to buy. And I only burned out on that one Sceptile from this lot. So most of the other ones came in very good condition. So we have Swampert, we have the Blaziken, we have this awesome Snorlax. I do have a PSA 10 of this on my eBay right now. This one has a tiny bit of whitening on the back, but otherwise another very clean one of these Snorlaxes. We have Blastoise from Galactic's Conquest, I think. And then we have a couple of Charizards. So we have the black and white Charizard from Boundaries Crossed. I don't know what the Japanese set is. And then we have this deck holo Charizard that I think in a 9 I sold this for almost 100 bucks. The last one that I had, and this one looks really clean. I think it has a 10 chance. I think this one also has a 10 chance, but I think my my buy-in prices for both of these was quite good. So we'll see how these pan out here in the future as well. All right, guys, if you like this video, me going over the stuff I buy from Japan, make sure to hit the like button. And if you're not yet subscribed, definitely hit that subscribe button as well. That gives you all the notifications on future videos and stuff. You can join the Discord, the link down below. I also notify everyone when videos goes up in the Discord. And sometimes we have some really fun, interesting discussions down in the Discord as well. So definitely check that out too. We'll see you on the next video. Bye.